Well, it's been hot, hot, hot. Too hot to work. 107 in the afternoon with wind, so we've lost a lot of bushels off our corn in the last 7 days. But sprinkled just a hair this morning. Talking a chance yet. Sunday night, I think. This is Friday. So anyway, is what it is. I pulled this up to the shop. This is cracked across, starting to crack there. They've patched and welded. And the other side, of course, is cracked too. They've welded and it's cut clear down through the crack. So this was what I believe to be a convertible hopper. Obviously, it wouldn't have doors on it, I suppose. And I'm thinking that our stress, this is all going to be cleaned out. Lipstick on a pig in here. But anyway, we didn't get much, as you know. I think this upright is being stressed because of no support. Because those, zoom in there. That top rail, the top rail on this trailer is pinned. So they could take that out and load stuff. I think that's been a good many years ago that it was ever used that way. So anyway, I'm thinking probably for the smoke clears, I'll weld that brace in. That'll take a lot of load off these side arms shifting. I'll clean these up, groove them, re-weld them. Probably plate the outside with heavy steel. Probably going to, my deal fell off. Probably going to weld that, as I said, and then I may put down here, I may put a piece of tube from here down to the main frame. It can be fixed. It's just how much you put in it, I guess. How much steel. Eventually it will quit moving. She's a beaut, Clark. Nope, as I've told you, we don't have to haul many loads, and it will be paid for. It's paid for anyway, but you know what I mean. Alright, I'll probably pull these off. I'll have to paint behind them because I'm sure they didn't paint behind them the way the rest of the trailer looks. Trying to think what else has been going on. Not too much. Just, like I said, the heat. Been miserable. Still working a few hours in the morning, a few hours in the evening. And watching poker and YouTube on TV. Bring it back. I welded the crack shut, which we all know. Well, anybody that does any fabrication knows that's not going to hold, and that's what they did originally. That's why it didn't hold. I gouged out the cracks and welded it. This is a lot thinner than I thought, so I was going to put flat plate over it. I have some real small channel iron, and I was going to put it on there past, obviously, the crack both ways, but I think I'll flip it. It looks cleaner. Should still give us our structure. I've cleaned the paint off so I can get a good weld up and down that. Yep, bring it back. Well, that's where we got to. Made sure I welded across the crack solid. And I was always taught that intermittent welds like that are stronger than a solid weld. If something would start to give, I guess it's like concrete. It gives it a place to stop cracking. I don't know. But anyway, I'll blow some paint on it and then, ouch, it's hot. Imagine that. And get that stuff off there. Blow some paint on that. I'm still gonna do something. Brand new jeans, we're running them already this morning. I'm still gonna put some brace either on the inside up at an angle. I do think welding that top would solve 99% of these problems, and I see no reason that we'll ever have that out. I mean, the trailer's beyond its life now, so I really feel like if we just weld that in, put these braces on, it'll be done. Up there they've put a board in here besides this support. I don't know what they were thinking. We'll have to do something with that. We may. Don't know. May put a piece of aluminum in there. May pull that board down, re-screw it, caulk it for now. I don't know. I hate to get too much time in the trailer until we find out what we think about it. I've been accused of being a hoarder before, and that's okay. If you accept it, it's not true, right? I just save stuff for a rainy day, I think. Anyway, an old boy called me a couple of years ago. They were shutting down a weld shop. Said they had 3 or 4 of these panels. Would I be interested in them? And I can't turn anything down, especially for free. And they come in real handy for stuff like this. Keeps from blowing the gas off your welder. I just got this side tacked on. Set that up because I was having trouble with the gas blowing off. And we'll get her welded. So anyway, I got the verticals on, painted. Clear down into the structural steel there. Anyway, I do think that we're going to have to build something at the top. I think that just will end all the problems. Bob's hauling this morning, so when he gets back today or tomorrow, we'll have a look-see at it and see what he thinks. We bounce that stuff back and forth. Seems like one of us always has a better idea than the other one, so I love to brainstorm. But anyway, that could go to the field and not be a problem. And I think, like I said, if I put braces from here back down to this structure, piece of tube, that would do it. Or just tie it in there, and I think we're done. So I'll bring you back. I got to take those tarp rails off yet. Excuse the messy shop. My son has a big hand in that. So anyway, I'll go ahead and pull these off all the way down. It just looks like crap. I'll bring you back. It's the day after I was working on the hopper trailer. Haven't got back on it. Calling for a slight chance of rain last night, and about 5:30 this morning it rolled in, and so far we got about 1.6 inches. These are some beans that we sprayed last week. I haven't been down to check on them. Looks like we got a good kill and the beans are filling in. This rain was a godsend for the beans. Got some water standing down here, but I'm just making my way south. Seeing some trees down, some telephone poles down. Don't see any building damage, but I heard we had 60+ mile-an-hour winds for a substantial amount of time. Alright, well, that's one field of beans. I'll bring you back. Just coming off our bean patch there and into the hay grazer that we planted. Get a very good kill on the weeds. I guess they'll make a bale. Oh no, hay grazer looks a little patchy. After this shower, hopefully it'll come on now and get up there around 4 foot and we can get it swamped and baled. It doesn't look very good. Yeah, it is what it is. That was dicamba on those weeds, and it never does really burn them good. It wilts them back, and then they just kind of stay there, is my experience. Not a big dicamba fan. What laid that hay grazer down there?
Definitely had more wind than we did at home. Yeah, I'm not real proud of the weed situation. The hay grazer's there, just slow. And down in the corner, it looks phenomenal. Yeah, I'll look on this other side quick while I got you here. That hay grazer hasn't had, I think, one small shower on it since we drilled it. Definitely see the bottom ground there is much better. Rain seems to help farming. Yeah, it looks like up over that hill there is some hay grazer, but it's just, yeah, it's hard for you guys to see. Laid all that down. It will be what it is. Make a little hay. That's what we're after, I guess. A little bit of damage in town here. Well, we're down to what we call the dump 80. It's a little wet. I had to walk in. Probably should have took the camera, but not much to see. Corn's, 10 foot tall. Like I said, it's hard to tell here in the gap. We got some Johnson grass, but that's a 1636. This one's a 1632, and I picked the very smallest one I could find just by looking in the husk, and it was a 14. I think 1430. But some good corn out there. That's the one the agronomist told us yesterday that his exact words was there'll be some corn to be picked out of this field. So I don't know if you'll be able to see anything down here. Drop my ear on the floor here. Get my finger out of the way. Yeah, it may not get any better with it's just corn. Firing on the edges on that heat. Yeah, there just ain't no seeing much there. But it looks good. Looks. That place, figured it was our number 3 yield. Beck's corn in it. Planted about half Pioneer and half Beck's. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the Beck's so far, but we won't know anything until get my ear undropped. We won't know anything until we pick, as we all know. Can be deceiving. 53 acres south of Anson on Doug's place. We have that same Beck's number. There's some tree damage there, limb in the road. And sorry, my allergies are killing me this morning. Same Beck's number as that one. I'm trying to think of where else. Then over at Oxford on the river, we had Beck's Racehorse over there. Again, I don't know the number, but that corn over there, it's hard to compare. As we know, it's on the river. They did catch a 2-inch rain when we only had about 1 inch and 2/10 in the house, I think. There's ears over there that are 20 around. Second ears that were 18 around. And when we checked those ears at 18 and 20, they were already in the dent. So, like this corn here, we are starting to cannibalize the second ear. We're not starting, I mean, they're pretty well cannibalized the second ear. There's a few ears there that have some grain on them on a second ear, but pretty much counting on the first ear. Again, over there at the river, there is a second ear, and some of those are pretty good size. So anyway, our Pioneer up at Clearwater, we thought that would be probably our number 2 yield. It's a pretty good field just off of the river. I went and looked at it yesterday. It's got some very, very respectable ears. it's going to go over 100, which I think our county average is like 78. Don't quote me on that. But this isn't really corn country. So if we hit 100, we feel like we've hit a home run. Clearwater will definitely go over 100. That field I just walked out of there, guessing, I haven't really done the numbers on those, 112 plus on that field there. River, I have no idea. We've got a lot of deer damage over there, so that's going to affect it. But there's a lot of second ears. Depending on the deer damage, I just don't know. I don't really have a good answer over there. But I think overall we're going to have a good corn crop. I'm going to run up here and check some beans. That field I just left, we're about 4 miles from that 134 acres I always talk about. The love-hate relationship quarter. I'm going to run over and check the beans on it, and I don't know, that may be all I do for today. I may throw this on with a hopper patch job, and we had a little video of replacing a seal on a Gleaner Hugger head. I may throw that on there. Just so you guys know, I haven't disappeared, went broke, sold everything yet. Alright, talk to you later. I'm almost to the bean field, and I was doing some thinking. Don't when I think it gets dangerous. But anyway, my little brother, Bob, the one I farm with, you guys know, he's 9 years younger than I am. But anyway, he's always putting the shit on me and telling me not to pull ears, don't pull corn ears. So I'm a numbers guy, and the neighbor standing out there. So I had to figure, so after a corn plant ears, you'd have to pull like 534 ears a day in order to pull an acre by the time the corn was ready. I believe that was my numbers I figured. Sorry about that. I think I kind of messed that video up. So anyway, where I was getting at was, he's always, it is what it is. He doesn't worry about the yield. I don't know that I worry about the yield, but it's fun to me to try to guess the yield, try to keep up with the yield, just know where we're at. And so my theory was, do you guys just get up on Christmas morning and open your packages and, hey, there's Christmas, Christmas is over? Or do you like the anticipation? I guess that's the best way I can put it. By me checking ears, pulling ears, calculating. I pulled some kernels this morning off of an ear. Got a scale that weighs in ounces, weighed it up, figured dry matter, figured it at 30% moisture, calculated that out. Then you have to put your dry matter back. You guys can look that up. I had a deal I found that, I don't know if you're interested in that. But anyway, so I calculated back. The ear I pulled was 110 dry. So it just reiterates our numbers that I'm thinking on corn may not be off. Well, I just pulled in this field. This stand looks a little rough from here. I'll flip you around. I think they're there. We cut this off pretty high because of the weed mess, and that's got low spots down through there. I really don't think it's as bad as it looks in the camera. I may have to walk out, have a look. I think a lot of that's, I think it's in there. They might not be in this area because this is a low spot. Yep, the old love-hate relationship quarter. Alright, I'm probably going to walk it. It looks like mostly they're here. It's just, I think we're below some of the straw and weeds. This is where we drive in and turn around and pack it. So obviously we're going to have some weak spots there. This is just right on the edge too. It's pretty wet, which is good. I mean, I'm tracking coming out. So I'm not gonna walk too far, but I believe we definitely have enough stand to make a crop if we keep getting some moisture. And this got really weedy on us. I'm sorry. This over here got really weedy on us after harvest. And I think the beans are there. Like I said, I think just because the weeds are there, we're not seeing the rows. Because right here, it was fairly clean when we come and sprayed it. And you can see that there's a lot more beans there. More beans, that is. Beautiful day after 105, 107. Yeah, we got a little breeze. Fast rain all morning. I don't know what the temperature is, but it can't be 80. All right, bring it back. Okay, guys, I'm going to try to explain this a little more clear. Hopefully you won't see the first videos. They are a little complicated. So we're trying to figure corn yield by weight instead of just by kernel count. And I've got some numbers here I'll show you. But what we're doing is, I'll turn you around. I've got what was a 1636 ear. Now that's leaving a few at the bottom and a few at the top. So when we take them all off, our weight will be a little bit higher than if we just did, say, a 1636 times your population, etc., because we have all the weight here. So anyway, I had a 1636, I had a 1632, and I had a 1432. Now I'll kick my scale on, and the plate weighs 0.5 ounces. So here we have 9.7 ounces total. So that's going to give us 9.2. I think I actually went off a 9.3 a minute ago. Yeah, 9.8. Take off half an ounce is 9.2, 9.3. 1632 is going to be about 6.9 time we take the plate off. And the 1432 is about 5.2 ounces when we take the plate off. Now this was about as small a ear as I could find. This one I guess, I'd say was medium. And this one was a fairly good sized ear. There's a lot of the big, there's a lot of the medium. Really not too many of the small. So when I take my calculations and average them, then we should be semi-safe. Okay, so I'm bringing it around here. I'm sitting in my easy chair. See if I can get this thing to focus in. So what we try to do, and I'll leave a picture right in here somewhere of the calculation that I used. And what you do is you take 100,000 pounds and you multiply that. I'm figuring this corn at 30%. I did not check it in a moisture checker. I could. But if you figured at 30%, you take 100,000 times your 30%. That gives you 70,000 pounds. Now that's at 0 dry matter. Well, we can sell corn at 15%. So we need to take that 70 divided by 85, which gives 15% off. Yeah, I'm starting to get complicated already. So anyway, I take the 70,000, but that is twice what we need to take off. So we add back our 15% that we can sell at. Long story short, I'll leave the picture, but I came up with 82.4% of dry matter when the corn is at 30% moisture. All right, so 1432, just go along the top, 5.2 ounces in there. Our population down there was a little stronger than 18.5, but I'm figuring 18.5. We'll take that 5.2 multiplied by our stand count. It gives us 96,200 ounces. Divide that by 16 ounces, which is going to give us our pounds per acre. 6,012.5 pounds. Now that's if that ear was completely throughout the field, which that's why we're going to average them. You can see here 1632 is the same, we come up to 7,978 pounds, give or take. And on our big ear, we came up with a total of 10,753. So I bring those numbers down here. I divide those by 56 pounds, is what a bushel of corn weighs. I come up with 107, 142, and 192. That's bushels per acre. Now we have to get our weight down, our moisture down. So we take that times that 82.4. I actually took it times 82. And we get 88 bushel per acre on the first year, 116.9 on the second year, and 157 bushel on the third year. Our total is 362. We divide that by 3, of course, to get our average. The bushel on that place comes out to 120.6. Now again, you guys know that obviously it will change from that either way, depending on our moisture, depending on our finishing conditions. There's a lot of things that depends on. Is our stand count, 18.7 instead of 18.5? I think that place down there was about 19,000. So I took off 500 to be what I think would be safe. So anyway, guys, I'm just showing you a different way to calculate rather than just kernel count. I know kernel count's very simple, very easy, but again, just another way to double check your numbers. Talk to you later, guys.